going on. So now Walmart, you know, we talk about welfare, blah, 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 and why Bernie always brings up Walmart, because the people who own Walmart, the Walton family, are basically, they own the equivalent of what 40% of America owns. That's how much freaking money they have. What do? They pay their workers $7.25 per hour, the absolute minimum amount of money they pay. So these people then have to go on welfare, because they can't even afford to feed themselves, let alone their kids, on $7.25 an hour. So that's the campaign manager side. Now, in 2008, when Hillary ran, she was against lobbying to raise money. Now, who should she have as her head lobbyist? Monsanto. People who Monsanto, the person who's in charge of lobbying for Monsanto, is now in charge of lobbying for Hillary Clinton. So that's all I'm going to say. Those are the only two things you really need to know about Hillary's campaign and who she stands for and who she represents, to understand that she is the establishment. That is the establishment. It is not what we want. If we want a real revolution, a political revolution to take place in this country, where people actually have power, where you have a voice, where you can have faith in what's going on in the bigger picture, because whether we like it or not, whether we're participating or not, it's clear that the government has got us by the, you know what. Not going to go there, you know what I'm saying. Regardless, that's why it's now, or maybe never, because, you know, 4 years, 8 years of Hillary, and then who knows who's going to run next. We're not going to have Bernie in 8 years. We have Bernie right now, and Bernie is brave enough to call all of them out, to ask us all to unite together in order to take back our power. Finally, we've needed this to happen. You want to talk about, you know, 2012 is supposed to be the end of the world, and blah, blah, blah. I'll touch into that a little bit, because I worked with the Mayan and Indians also. And they said this is an era. This is an era of time right now where the awakening takes place, where we take our power back, where we understand and remember who we are. And who we are is just basically the physical manifestation of God. That's what we are. Everything, you know, we're created in God's image. We are now the hands and the body and the eyes and the voice of God. Only, though, if we're speaking from our heart. This is the awakening of the heart. This is what the transformation is all about. It's what they say, the longest journey man will ever take is from his head to his heart. And this is it. This is the end journey. This is when we start living by our hearts, living by our truth, caring about each other, because we're all freaking up to here in stress. We don't make enough money. You know, poor is just like so much. There's so many poor people, and the reason why there's so much crime is because people are poor. They, you know, they can't afford to go to school, so they join gangs. This is one of the biggest things they're talking about. You know, the fact that there's so many black people in jail. Bernie has been talking about this longer than ever. He's the one who was about ending segregation back in the 60s. I mean, the man marched with MLK. He was a peace activist and a peace protester and an organizer of the peace movement back in the 60s. And this man has walked his talk for 40 years, and he's done it within the walls of the politic. So he understands what goes on inside of politics, which is why we can trust him, because even though he's been in there, I mean, his net worth is $300,000. I'm sorry, or around there. But if you're a corrupt politician, your net worth is going to be a lot more than $300,000 if you've been in politics for this long. You'd be corrupt. He's been able to stay true to the people, true to his own values, true to his morals. You look up anything on YouTube and you search Bernie Sanders, you know, what legislation has he passed? What has he tried to do? There's 100% consistency in everything he said. You want to talk about gay rights, transgender rights, equal marriage, women's rights, women's right to choose, equal pay, leave, you know, family leave when you have a baby. He has been saying this forever. You want to talk about the environment? He's been against the free trade market, because he's all about fair trade, which gives us all here in America a good job, and people across the world good jobs. He's not about free trade. He's about fair trade. I mean, everything he stands for, it's a holistic view of what we need to do here in America, because the world follows what we do. So we really, 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 we need Bernie more than Bernie needs us. I mean, the man's 74 years old. God bless his heart. He's strong. He's healthy. He's vibrant. He's going to be here, you know, another 20 years. But a lot of us are going to be here 20, 40, 60, 80 years if you're a 20-year-old kid, you know. If we're lucky and we turn things around, we're all going to be freaking healthy. Science up the wazoo. Science has been totally stuffed down. We have technologies that can liberate our planet, that can create healing within us. And in terms of like animals, I mean, there's so much technology, there's so much science that is being held back because of big oil, because of pharmaceuticals. I mean, Bernie's going to legalize medical marijuana. I would bet to say one of the things that he will do, and one of the things I'm going to help him do or encourage him to do, is anybody who's in jail for, a non-violent, they had a joint or something like that. It's time to get these freaking people out of jail, because it's absolutely ridiculous that these people are in jail for something that is a weed that is totally not at all harmless compared to heroin, which is where it's classified as being like a drug as bad as heroin. Give me a freaking break. If anything, alcohol is worse than marijuana, but alcohol is clearly free. I can tell you, and you probably know yourself, alcohol makes you a far more crazy person than marijuana will ever make you. So this idea that people are in jail for marijuana, it's absolutely ridiculous. This is something you can research yourself. It's called Charlotte's Web. It's a story about a little girl who had, epileptic fits all the time, seizures all the time, a little bit of marijuana, and now there's even CBD marijuana, which doesn't even get you high. It's just the CBDs inside of the plant that you can kind of extract or whatever, so you don't get high on it, and it is the best medicine for some of these ailments that people have. The fact that it's legal just is one of the biggest criminal attacks on people. People are dying when they don't need to die because that drug is illegal. There's so many things that Bernie is totally hip on and totally knows what's going on. Oil industry, absolutely ridiculous. Oh, this is something that is going on either in Colorado or Nevada that you have to look at. This is part of the Podesta group. People there who bought solar panels, and you're supposed to, once you get more energy, you can sell it back to the energy companies. That was the contract that these people signed into. I believe it was the Podesta group that went in and severed that contract, and now these people are having to pay fees that they were not supposed to be paying. So this is, again, that's Hillary's campaign. Not cool. Bernie is all for the people. He's all for equal pay. He's all for, closing loopholes. How he's going to pay for this all? A 1% tax. I mean, if you are a Wall Street person and you're saying, oh, I need 100% of all the money I make, 1%? Give me a break. Are you really that greedy that you can't give 1% back to the American people when it's going to create like so much peace, so much relaxation, so much we'll be able to be happy and be able to share and be able to care and take care of each other? If you can't support a 1% tax, there's something really freaking mentally wrong with you. You really need to let your heart lead the way on this, because 1%, if you need more, if you need 100%, then there's something really wrong with you. I'm sorry to say. You're not American. You're not a true patriot. You really don't care about people. You're not a Christ person. You're not a Christian. You're not a spiritual person. You're not a religious person. If you could just walk over people that are on the street, and Bernie even said this in one of his talks at the high school a couple of days ago. He's like, the fact that we just walk by and we see people on the street that are just laying there and they're homeless and sick and dying, it is just completely abominable. We're not supposed to let this stuff happen. So Bernie is leading the fight for all people. It doesn't matter. Older people, your Social Security number, your Social Security paychecks that you get every month, he wants to, I think it might even be double that, what you're getting now. I think he said if you're making $16,000 a year, you should be making 26, I'm pretty sure he said double it. You can double check everything. I'm not speaking official. This is just me. I've learned a lot being on this campaign. I've been on the campaign for a couple of months now, maybe 2.5, 3 months. I've been learning this information. But like I said, I've been involved in this for 20 years. So this is something that I have been doing for a very long time. I've just volunteered my time, volunteered my services, because I see that when we actually come together and we share, we pool our resources, and we really take care of each other, we are all gonna thrive. It's gonna be so freaking amazing. That's why I'm just so excited. I'm giving my heart and soul to this man. If you want to follow me and continue to know what I'm doing, Burn for Revolution is my tag pretty much everywhere. It's on Facebook, it's Twitter, it's Periscope, or my website is summerrose.us. I am actually running for Congress. There's 200 of us, at least right now, that are running for offices, whether it's Congress, the Senate, or our local offices, to really support Bernie. So you say, oh, how is he going to get it done? Congress is going to block it. Well, then run for freaking Congress. That's all we have to do. Run for the Senate. Get involved in politics. This is it. The transformation is taking place right here, right now. We're going to do it now. We're going to do it 2 years from now in the midterms. Be on top of the midterms. Go vote in the midterms. Check out my website, summerrose.us. I will let you know who is a Bernie person and vote for those people. It's going to be freaking amazing. I mean, I'll tell you, I have Trump people that come up to me and actually have donated to me because they, in the primary states that I visited, I've been in Iowa, I've been in New Hampshire, I'm heading down to South Carolina, you know, and unfortunately, this is something you all need to know. You have to make sure that you are a registered Democrat in some states to be able to vote in the primaries or vote in the caucuses. You can go to Vote for Bernie, I think it's voteforbernie.org or .com, look at that, one or the other, and you will be able to find out, click on your state, and you'll be able to see what you need to do if you need to register as a Democrat in order to vote for the primaries. General election, you can switch back right after you vote, the very next day. You want to be an independent, you want to hold on to your green status, any of that, totally legit, totally get it. I've been a green person too, but I voted, you know, Democrat in order to be able to participate in the process right now. Just like Bernie, he's been an independent for 40 years. He's only become a Democrat right now because he knows we don't have any voice. He's going in there from the inside out. He's going to transform it. We're going to do it too. We just have to stay involved. Always have hope. Believe that we're going to make this happen because that's the only way it's going to get done. I beg you to stay involved in this campaign. It's a lot of fun. That's one of the things that's the coolest thing too. We're having fun. We're celebrating each other. We're loving each other. We're happy. We're inspired. We feel impassioned. It's like people are giving up their entire lives to just jump on this campaign because that's how freaking much fun it is. It's fun, it's exciting. If you don't have any money even, people are opening up their doors, they're giving you places to stay, they're feeding you, they're letting you use their cars. I mean, like, people are so unbelievably happy and ecstatic because when you learn about this man, you're gonna 100% believe that he truly does stand for every single one of us. He stands for, like I said, Black people, white people, Latino people, Native American people. I mean, across the board, young, old, he just loves everyone. Women's rights, human rights, animal rights. He's you know, he wants to demilitarize the police stations. He wants to make police stations look like our local communities, so that there's not like this crazy racism that's been going on. I look at racism and I'm like, God, when I see like a meadow of flowers, I love all the colors. I would hate to just see like one freaking color flower. Let's look at each other like we're this beautiful Garden of Eden here, and all we are beautiful different expressions of this gorgeous love vibration that just fuels through all of us. It's what wakes us up every morning. It's what keeps us going when we get like beaten down and all that. We've all been beaten down, but we still get up, right? That's because love is our source. Love is our source. God is our source. Creator is our source. This is it. Source is our source. That is what's coming up through me right now and enabling me to speak to you, is because source energy is channeling through me right now to help you to realize that this is it. This is the time. This is the moment. This is only right now, and you need to get involved because you will be so much happier. I promise you. You start meeting people within the Bernie campaign, you're going to be like, oh my God. And it could be your neighbor. It could be the person who was right next door to you and you didn't know how freaking awesome they were. Because television, mainstream, that's another thing. Bernie's calling out mainstream media. You know, mainstream media says, oh, be afraid, oh, terrorist attack. I'll tell you something about the whole terrorist attack thing. There's only one thing in the world that you're more likely to die from, and that's getting hit by lightning. People die taking showers. They fall in their bathtubs and they die. You have more of a chance of taking a shower and dying by falling in your own bathtub than you do from a terrorist attack. But what happens? Mainstream media, oh, fear, oh, they're out to get us, oh, blah, blah, blah. I tell you this, we create an amazing freaking country here in America. The rest of the world will actually start loving us again, will start looking at us again, will have respect for America again, because right now they have no reason to. We've been causing so much havoc in all places all over the world, being the world police and all that. I say once we get involved in this political revolution and we can actually make changes from the inside out, every place where we have a base in another country, we turn that into a place where we can dialogue, where we can come to create resolutions. We create, like Dennis Kucinich wanted, the Department of Peace. We'll turn all of those base stations into like centers for peace, centers for resolution, centers for resource sharing. Let's pool our resources together because there's so much. It's so freaking abundant. It's unbelievable. The only thing that's in our way, literally, like Bernie says, is 1/10 of the 1%. That's it. Believe that. Totally know what I'm saying is true. If you're feeling inspired, if you're feeling excited, it's because your cells in your body are saying, yeah, what she's saying is legit. What she's saying is true. So believe it. Trust it. Because I'm serious. There's so much that's going to change with this American global revolution that is taking place right now. Everyone's invited. I could just go on, and I really can. I could really talk a lot. I do have a lot more to say. questions. You have any questions, feel free to ask me questions. I'll be happy to speak more. I'll be happy to share more. I just know in my heart and my soul that this is why I'm here. This is why you're here. That's why you're here listening to this. And I just encourage you to just go all out right now. I mean, I don't have like hardly any money at all, I'll tell you that right now. And I get so excited hitting that button. Once you set yourself up with the Act Blue and you're helping Bernie Sanders campaign, you like start getting excited. Like, you know, you get this email and something really cool and exciting happens, and right there's that button. You just hit it once and you just contribute, and boom, you're like, yeah, I was part of that. I mean, do you know that we raised over $7 million in a 24-hour period after he won New Hampshire? I mean, Bernie's just the man. We're pulling our resources together and we're getting it done. You're the media, I'm the media, this is grassroots, this is what real democracy looks like. And like I was saying, me going into politics as I am right now, and I'm running for Congresswoman, summerrose.us, you'll learn all about me. One of the things I promise to do for you, to give you a voice and make you feel more empowered, and I'll tell you some of the other 200 people that are also applying are also going to do the same thing that I'm doing. And that is put legislation up on our websites so that you, and then Reddit style, go to reddit.com if you want to check out what Reddit does. Articles that happen, you can respond to my legislation and you can give solutions to what I'm saying, or amendments to the bills that are being written. And then if people like that, those answers, those solutions will rise to the top. I promise you, as your Congresswoman, that I am going to be a puppet for the 99%. You have something to say, you say it to me, and I will deliver it to you, because that's what this revolution is all about. That's what government's supposed to be about. That's true democracy. And I could say one other thing. A lot of people think, oh, the Constitution, we have to hold on to the Constitution. A lot of people don't realize the Constitution is actually written for rich white men. The Bill of Rights were for the people. And the people, the Bill of Rights was pretty much wiped out with the Patriot Act. So, you know, if there's ever talk about a constitutional convention, don't be afraid of that either, because you know what? Nothing's going to change unless we all agree. So don't be afraid of anything. Anytime somebody's telling you be afraid of something, that's what you should trust. Trust that what you're doing is the right thing. Trust that the information that you're getting is the right thing. Anybody says, don't do this, don't do that, that's what you're supposed to be doing. I mean, I kind of changed that around like years ago, and I've never been happier, never been more empowered. I have like red carpets like rolling out everywhere I go, because when you're on path and you're on purpose, the world has your back. The universe has your back. I have your back. Have my back, have Bernie's back, because this is it. It's here, it's now. I love you, Bernie loves you. Remember it, peace is the way. There's no way to peace, peace is the way. Be love, be truth, be powerful, be beautiful, be all of who you are, because that's why you came here. Thank you so much, and namaste, beautiful, love is all there is. Remember it. Yes. Bernie!